Welcome back. In today's episode, we continue our journey south to beach hop our way down Bahia Concepcion. There are dozens of beaches to stop at in this area, and we'll take you along with us on a couple that we visited. The weather wasn't exactly in our favor in the beginning of the week, but we made the most of it. We are finally on our way to the beach. It is currently raining, but that's fine. Maybe we'll get some prime real estate spot for tomorrow when it's supposed to only be partly cloudy and not raining. Santispac Playa is the first beach you'll reach in Bahia Concepcion. So we just rolled into Santispac. Definitely looks like there's a lot of gringos here, as to be expected. But we finally made it to the Bahia Concepcion, the Bay of Concepcion, and kind of seems like it's one of those beaches that you just gotta check out. So we're just walking around, checking out the scene. They do have bathrooms here, which is nice. The toilets don't flush very well, so you just take a bucket in with you, do what you gotta do, and then it flushes the toilet. But these are pretty clean.
Good morning. We are at the Bay of Concepcion, about 30 minutes south of Mulege. It's kind of the first stop as far as beaches go. This one's called Santispac. It's quite popular, but I see why. It is unbelievably flat, calm, and protected in this particular spot. Check this out. We got an escapee. So on the plus side, beautiful, protected bay. Means it's perfect for swimming, snorkeling, kayaking, paddleboarding, which is what we plan to do. When we got here yesterday, we paid for one day just so we could scope it out and kind of see what's up and see how long we want to stay. So let me show you how many other people have found this place too. I don't know if you can see that conga line of RVs down there. That would be my only negative.
I think we'll probably stay a night or two because it's slightly cloudy today. This is the current situation. It has been on again, off again, raining all day. So we've been in and out of the van. But
Mostly in.
we've had some vendors come and we scooped up these cinnamon rolls for 30 pesos each from Angel and a rosemary baguette for 25 pesos. And the fish that we got yesterday was delicious.
What'd you get?
Sea bass.
Sea bass.
Sea bass.
Good fish today, no bones.
No bones?
Nada, yeah, clean.
So it seems to be good choices so far. We are in Santispac Bay, and we're just going around this island. I forgot the name of it, but nobody inhabits it except for the birds. Well loved by the birds, as you can see. That afternoon, we had just enough time to get out to the closest island in the bay before the next rainstorm. Then we decided to head back into Mulege for one last resupply. We've been trying to get to the supermarket. There was a box truck park exactly where we are parking now. So we've been going all around Mulege to get down these little streets. And the funny thing is people are driving almost full-length buses through these streets, and it is tight even with the van. So it makes things very interesting and almost comical at times, trying to drive through these tiny, narrow streets of Mulege and just other Mexican cities when you get to them.
So, we have found Asadero Danny, which is another taco spot, and this one's in Mulege, and they're known for their fish tacos. I'm sure all of them are going to be fantastic. So, 6 tacos coming up.
And then back to the beach. So this guy went with the carne asada and the pollo, and I went with the fish tacos. And we do have a friend here, amigo. As we left Mulege fully stocked with food and water, the sun finally decided to come out. We We had our sights on going back to Santispac, but the beach was packed, so we decided to try another one and continue south. So we decided our second stop was going to be Playa Coyote. We've heard a lot of cool things about this little part of the Bay of Concepcion. So we'll probably be here for maybe 2 nights. Check it out, see how it goes. So, beach number 2, El Coyote, and we got a palapa this time, so we're moving on up. Come check out our front door. I know, it's a terrible view, but we'll have to live with it. Alright, slight change in plans. We were gonna stay in El Coyote Playa, but it's packed and our palapa was available, and now we know why. Because that palapa, the sun tucks back over the mountains at 2 p.m. So I don't want such short days, and with all of the kind of cloudy rain weather that we've gotten in the last 3 days, I kind of want to be somewhere where we have sun on our solar panels until, you know, the sun sets. So we're gonna skip that beach and we're gonna continue south and check out a couple more beaches. Alright, stop number 2, we're gonna check out Playa Requeson. Playa Requeson. It's one of those unique beaches in Bahia Concepcion. It's one of a kind because it has a sandbar connecting to an island in low tide, and then in high tide you can only access it by paddling or swimming over to it. It's a small beach and it can get very packed, but we were blessed with perfect weather and no crowds for several days, just the way we like it. So we just filled up the sups and we're gonna go out on the bay while it's calm and chill. It seems like the first half of the morning the wind isn't too crazy, and then by the afternoon it picks up. So Maisha's gonna sit this one out while we go have some fun on the sups. Getting out on the paddleboards, I always hope we're gonna see some wildlife. This day we were lucky enough to see these massive stingrays. Definitely calmer over by the mangroves. Some of the fish are jumping.
What you seeing, Mama?
I'm not seeing as many fish as you are, but I see them like jumping now.
Yeah.
But the mangroves are pretty cool because they're basically like nature's fish hatchery. So when the baby fish are born, they kind of hang out around here because they know they're protected from the bigger fish. There's a lot of teeny tiny fish in the mangrove. Good morning. It is, I don't even know what day it is, what month it is, who knows. But basically we ended up staying in Playa Requeson. It's an interesting beach in the sense that there's a sandbar, and on high tide, which is right now because it's sunrise, you can't get across the island, and it's a fairly small beach. We're just kind of finding out as you travel south in Baja, it's really hard to get your own spot, and then there's just a migration of people that are heading down here every winter time. I'm just taking Maisha for a walk. Wiley is still sleeping in the van. I think we're gonna end up staying here for a couple days. We might be able to get out on the water, pull up the steps, go snorkeling, get some swimming in. What is that thing? It's walking along the beach and found it. We got up not early, but like early for us and moving and on the paddleboards this morning, and we were rewarded with some dolphins. It was calm enough today for us to go around the island that the sandbar is attached to. Basically, once we got onto the other side of the island and you're open into the Bay of Concepcion, we just started seeing splashing way up in the distance. So we kind of just floated, waited for them to see if they were going to come closer. And they did. At one point, they're in the front of my board, and at another point, they were surrounding Wiley. So that was just a really cool experience. Probably the coolest experience we've had so far since we've been in Baja. Anything wildlife related usually gets me pretty excited because that's definitely what I'm into. So a nice, sweet moment this morning.
So I just had to grab a plate out of the van because we just bought some food on the beach.
Chicken empanadas, and I got a tamale that has potato and I think fish and chicken in it.
Yep, all mixed together.
Yeah, so we're gonna try out these empanadas. We haven't gotten any homemade food yet on our Mexican Uber Eats.
Chicken and potato, deep fried. What could go wrong? 2 for 2 on the beach food out of the Saturn from the early 2000s. Gotta respect the hustle, man. These guys can make, get, and bring anything they think a traveler needs to the beach.
So, interesting story is the person that parked next to us yesterday actually went to the same very small upstate college that we went to, but there was a bit of like a 16-year age gap in year that we graduated, and like you're finding people that you went to college with in Baja, Mexico.
So my wife has been scouring the beach for hours for clams. And she's got a whole Tupperware full of them, so she's going to be clamming it up tonight.
So if you step on the sand and you see water squirt up, then there's a clam under there.
And while she was doing that, I was hanging out with Oliver, the young fellow who actually went to the same college that Dre and I did. And he had a practice kite for kite surfing, which is something that Dre and I want to learn how to do. So he actually offered for me to have a go. So I had a good session with Oliver to learn how the kite works, and I've got a pretty good handle on it. So can't wait to take some lessons and see what we can do. Time out, time out, time out. Mama's back. What do we got?
All my treasures.
Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, there's some treasures. How many you got in there?
A lot, more than a dozen.
Man.
So I threw back my smaller ones. I'm gonna eat these tonight. Nothing like harvesting from the ocean. There was a sea cucumber and they're like, oh my god, what is that? And I picked it up and it like squirted all over. Like, you can pick that up? Yep.
What you doing?
I'm gonna go snorkeling.
This is the southerly bay, and it's much calmer. It's very clear, and she's gonna go check out those mangroves.
Feels good to be back in the water. It's been a bit. She's not going to be super excited about this, but we did get this life jacket just so she could get some supping in. So will be her second time on the board.
What do you think, Maisha? What do you think?
We're still figuring it out.
She's not a huge fan.
But she did really good on the paddleboard.
Post paddleboard nappies. She did a very, very small forced swim.
There you go, testing out the new life jacket.
She floating? And now you can touch the bottom. This water is just so calm today. It's ridiculous. We had previously understood that you had to get up early, go paddleboard, go kayak, go swim, do whatever you wanted to do before El Norte, the winds showed up, and all afternoon it would be windy. Baja's notorious for lots of wind. It was calm as glass, and I'm gonna spin the camera around. It is still calm as glass, and it's 1 in the afternoon, and still 0 winds, and I mean 0. So we're probably gonna go back out on the paddleboards. We are drifting on our paddleboards. Sun's setting. Tecates are flowing. Can't beat it. This puppy got 2 walks today. What's going on right there?
So we just left Requeson Playa, and now we are heading to one more beach before we leave Bahia Concepcion. This beach is known for dolphins being in the bay, lots of them, so hopefully we'll get lucky and get to see them. And same thing as the other beach as far as supping, swimming, snorkeling, and all that kind of stuff. So we're just gonna go check out one more beach before we say goodbye to Bahia Concepcion for now. That was less than 5 minutes. This entrance might be a little difficult for those bigger trailers. It's a little steep.
We drove 5 miles down the road to get to a new beach, and this beach has nobody on it. There's one other car camper, tent camper down there, and A-okay with that.
That evening, as the sun set, we cooked dinner and ran out of water, so we knew the next morning it was time to pack up and continue south to the next town. So we are about to leave the Bahia Concepcion. We've been in this vortex for over a week.
Vortex in a good way. Fantastic place to camp, kayak, paddleboard, see dolphins, swim, snorkel, you name it. It's hard not to like it.